Shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha Rakah Kadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. This is Revelation 6 and verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast come and see, and I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
It's been a week of red flags on the economy, and now the president has tossed a hand grenade into the stock market. This started with China announcing retaliation tariffs on everything from coffee to car parts to wheat and whiskey. The markets took the news pretty well, but a short time ago, President Trump tweeted his anger at China, saying things like, "We don't need China," and urging American companies to look elsewhere for trade partners. The market reacted dramatically to that. Now, remember that this is all coming just as the president prepares to leave the country this evening. He is heading to France for the G7 summit, where testy relations and fresh disagreements with top U.S. allies will be on full display. The president also tweeting that he will be responding to China's tariffs this afternoon, so we should be expecting that at any moment, and we'll bring that to you. Allison Cossack is our business correspondent. She's in New York, and Abby Phillip is at the White House. And I want to start with you, Abby. Who's the president meeting with right now?
Well, Brianna, the president is meeting at the White House right now with his trade team as they scramble to figure out how exactly they will respond to this announcement that China is going to slap new tariffs on American goods. Now, the president has been talking pretty tough on social media all morning, basically saying that he wants the United States and their companies to move away from using China. He's saying he's ordered American companies to find other trading partners, but it's not clear that he even has the power to do that. The president also says the United States doesn't need China, but I think markets, based on what they're doing right now, will probably disagree with that. And as all of this is happening, Brianna, President Trump continues to attack the Fed chairman, Jay Powell, implying in a tweet this morning that he's not sure who is our enemy, whether it is Jay Powell or Xi Jinping of China. So a lot of tough words from President Trump, but as of right now, we still don't have any indication of when President Trump might speak and what he might say. Will he give an actual statement, and will that be a statement that calms markets or continues to roil them? Based on his tweets this morning, it seems that President Trump is in a fighting mood, Brianna.
All right, Abby, thanks so much. And Allison, let's take a look at the Dow, because right now it's down nearly 500 points. How quickly did the market start responding to the president's tweets?
Oh, it was almost immediately, Brianna. Right now, actually, stocks are at session lows, or at least close to them. And we did see the markets react in tandem every time President Trump put out yet another tweet and another tweet in his really massive and stunning tweet storm today. The one that really is rattling the markets is the part about what President Trump is going to do in response to the retaliation from the new China tariffs against U.S. imports. That is what the market is waiting on. That is what investors are telling me is the wild card here, and it's that uncertainty that's causing the sell-off that you're seeing. And you know how much the market hates uncertainty, and that's exactly what this trade war is breeding, is more and more uncertainty, because it's growing more and more intense, and that is why we are seeing the sell-off today. In addition, the tweets against Fed Chief Jay Powell certainly not helping. The expectation that the president had that Fed Chief Jay Powell was going to go ahead and make some sort of rate decision or announce some sort of coming rate decision, that rattled the market too, because it's unusual for that expectation to even be there, because historically the Fed doesn't make rate decisions at that Wyoming meeting that is going on this afternoon. They wait for their actual meeting, which is happening, the next one happening September 17th and 18th, when there is an expectation that the Fed will move on rates in some way. But it's rattling the market to see the president get so upset at the Fed chief that he didn't take action today, which would be historically odd, to say the least. Brianna.
To say the least, Allison. And Abby, back to you. Do we have any indication before this tweet from the president that he was planning to announce anything about China today?
No, Brianna. His schedule was almost virtually clear, save for a lunch midday that he had with the Secretary of State before he leaves tonight at around 10 p.m. for the G7, where he's going to be in France. So the president had a completely open schedule today, and there was no indication, even as we speak right now, there is no indication from the White House about what form the president's comments might take. Will he actually speak to reporters? Will he be in a venue where he might be able to take questions, or will they try to release some kind of paper statement? I think that there's a really big distinction between those two things, because if President Trump is the one using his own platform to say something about this, will he be on script? Will he go off script? And can the White House really expect that whatever he says will not make matters worse, as Allison has just been describing? Investors clearly have been hanging on every word President Trump is saying. Will he actually appear before cameras today is very much an open question.
All right, Abby, thank you so much. Allison, thank you. Austin Goolsbee was chairman of President Obama's Council of Economic Advisors.
So as you could see, this country doesn't have very long. The lady said it was 500 Dow points down, and it's because of Trump is tweeting. And I'm gonna keep going for the rest of this chapter. It says, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard a voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with beasts of the earth. So death and hell is coming for the earth, and especially for America. It says hunger right there. These farmers, they can't produce enough food because the weather crushed all their plants out here in the east, in the Midwest, I mean. And with beasts of the earth, these mountain lions, these bears, they're going to start attacking these Edomites. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yahweh and for the testimony which they held. That is some of the brothers out here speaking in the highways and byways. Some of us may have to die for this truth. But also other people. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? So we're going to be praying to the Lord that he comes and destroys this devil. And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. So, some of us have to die for the truth. So be it. The Lord died for us. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai died for us. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun become black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon become as blood. So this is talking about the nukes. The great earthquake is going to happen when the nukes hit America. And the sun is going to turn black because all the stuff going in the air, and the black as hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell unto earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she shaketh of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. So this one is talking about every mountain and island It's talking about actual mountain and island, but it's also talking about this government. Governments around the world are going to be moved out of their places, especially America, because this is going to be wiped off the face of the earth, because it is the horror of Babylon. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. So these kings, like Donald Trump, and great men, rich men, like the Rockefellers, the captains, and the mighty men, and bondmen, and so much, not so much the bondmen and the freemen, but they have little bunkers. But these rich men and kings, they have underground bases that are massive. They're called DUMBs, deep underground military bases, and they think that's gonna save them, but the hunters are gonna get them. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. So they're saying to the mountain and rocks to fall on us and hide us, but you can't hide from the Lord Yahweh Shai. He's coming with wrath. Let's check that word wrath out real quick. From the wrath, anger, the natural disposition, temper, movement, or agitation of the soul, impulse, desire, any violent emotion, indignation, anger exhibited in punishment, hence used for punishment itself, of punishment inflicted by magistrates. So he's coming back with great anger. I'm going to read that one more time. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne. That's Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh. And from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? With that, I want to say shalom to the elect.